the X-Wing started to open. I was like, oh, I know what that means.
I forgot how bad.
Welcome to a podcast named Tim, and this is the first episode of a new series we're launching entitled That One Show. We're going to be focusing on reviews of shows that lasted less than 3 seasons. 3 seasons or less, I guess. And today, for the first episode, we're going to be doing Fighting Foodons, which most of you who have clicked on this video or subscribed to the channel, you might be scratching your head. What is Fighting Foodons? Well, that's kind of where we're going to get to, give you a little appetizer on what this is about. And hopefully you'll check out the show and let me know your thoughts. We can certainly happy to discuss Fighting Foodons with anyone at any time. Before we do that, of course, please do subscribe to the channel and give a thumbs up, all that good stuff. So, what is Fighting Foodons? Well, it was an anime show that released in 2002 on the 4Kids Entertainment block of shows. Ran 26 episodes. Before that, which was only 1 season, so it qualifies. Before that, it was based on a manga called Martial Arts Cooking Legend Bistro Recipe. That is a mouthful. Fighting Foodons is a much easier title. This series of manga ran in a magazine called Comic Bon, which targeted elementary school children. And there were also 2 Game Boy games. Never read the manga, never played the game, only watched the very unique and wonderful show. What is it? Well, I guess the first thing to start off with, if you're going to get a full appreciation for Fighting Foodon, you have to appreciate the theme song.
Fighting Foodons is something incredible. These monsters once were edible, so everybody take a look at combat creatures you can cook. Fighting Foodons, our leader is extreme. Fighting Foodons, this is really neat cuisine. Pick the right ingredients to make the food obedient.
Depending on the spice you add, your foodon could be really bad.
That is one theme song. That's just a snippet of it, but whew, that's what you're in for with Fighting Foodons. It is basically a Pokemon clone. You know, obviously Pokemon was a major hit and led to a lot of people wanting to make the next Pokemon and make some money. Did not quite become that with its 1 season. It is certainly not even a Digimon. But basically, as you can tell from the theme song, the idea here is that instead of being a Pokemon trainer, you are a Foodon chef. And you cook up your food, put a meal ticket on it, which powers it up, gives it sentient life, and then they battle. Now, this isn't Pokemon battles as in the sense of tournaments. This is more of fighting for our lives. In fact, the main show is basically about the evil Glutton Empire, led by King Gorge himself. And he is using Foodons and his food to enslave people, build giant statues of himself, and actually his food actually has some mind control things that they use to take over the people. He has 4 lieutenants underneath him, that's being Cinemonkey, Cole Slaughter, Rose Marinade, and Chef Grill. Throughout the series, of course, Chase, who is our hero, who goes through the hero's journey. He starts off not knowing anything about wanting to be or how to be a Foodon chef, just that he wants to be the best. And in fact, he has burnt meatballs. That's like his main thing at the beginning. But obviously, he learns how to be like the chosen one, which is called the Dish Wizard. And then he kind of gets a big head, and then he goes through the full hero's journey of learning how to be the chosen one. And in the end, of course, he saves the day. No big spoilers there. But as he defeats the big 4, they become animals, which we'll get to in a moment. Kayla is his sister. She likes spicy food, and she's kind of annoying. That's kind of her only 2 characteristics. Chef Jack is his father. He is the leader of one of the leaders of the Rebel Alliance, if you will, that's fighting back against the the Glutton Empire. And they are the first episode, basically his kids are freeing him. He's like, thanks kids, and then dips out. They also have the Mac cart, which is the mobile attack cuisine cart. It is a food cart that turns into whatever gizmo. Sometimes they need it to be a car, train, whatever. They don't do too many things with it, but it can convert into other things. The main villain, the Team Rocket, as far as the one that you're going to be getting a lot of screen time with, is Claudia. She is a cat humanoid person, and later in the show we do find out that she is a human that has been turned into a cat by King Gorge, and she's also a rocket scientist because the show goes into space. We'll get there. Just hold on. We gotta get into these people first. There's also Oslo, who is a master Foodon chef who flies on an actual flying saucer, like a plate. He is kind of the teacher, teaching Chase the ways of Foodon chefery, or chef. And Pai Tin, who is someone they meet along the way. He's kind of a loudmouth, annoying kid, but he does teach Chase about power toppings, which are things you can add to your Foodons to make them more powerful. Add a little bit of peas or some salt, makes it more powerful. The main Foodon of the series, there's also Coco, I should say, who is interested in Chase. He's interested in her. She's trained by Chef John, who is just his dad, Chef Jack, in disguise. And there's also Albert, who he meets and is there for a couple episodes. He's kind of his Gary to his Ash Ketchum. And so there's a lot going on in this show for only having 26 episodes. The animation is obviously not great. The rules for Foodons don't really work because they don't know what they want them to be. The designs of the Foodons aren't great, which is, I like the concept and the idea behind fighting Foodons. I think it's fun, but the execution is not great. For example, the main Foodon, kind of the Pikachu, the face of the franchise, is Fried Ricer. It's a dude's body with a piece of rice or a pile of rice and a plate on it, and some spoons for fighting. That is the main hero, the main Foodon that we're supposed to come attached to. Certainly not an Agumon or a Pikachu that you can really connect to. And again, the Foodons are weird because sometimes they're super sentient. They want like freedom and they have what's rights, and sometimes they just say their name. So there's just a weird rule to play by there. The drawings and the animation and the way they look aren't great. So that's also hurting it. And then the story is just kind of all over the place. There's an over-reliance on food puns. For example, the first episode, I'll give you a couple of these, is entitled Rice to Meet You. There's an episode called You Wanna Pizza Me? There's a couple other episodes I have to tell you these. There's El Taco Grande, Slaw and Order, and where's my other favorite one? Assault and Pepper. And part of that is the Pepper Society is kind of an underground network of spies that are also, they're part of the Rebel Alliance that is fighting back against the Glutton Empire. And again, Chase goes through his journey. There's a couple filler episodes. There's one where Oslo wants to get some truffle to grow his hair back. But overall, we go to a tournament where we're fighting all these Foodon chefs are. If you win, you can join basically the bad guys. And from here, we meet all the people that run it. We meet at this tournament. Chase and the crew run into later throughout their journey as they're kind of going land by land to deal with the big four. And as they're defeated, or after they're defeated, we finally get to the big finale, which is in space. How we got there, I don't know. Basically, the statues that were built, you find out that they are spaceships. Chef Gorge is going into space to do a super mind control, basically, from space, so he can control the whole world. He has he summons all the evilness in the world to create, or the universe, I guess, to create a Devoron, I think it's called, Devouron, which kind of looks more like a Digimon than it does a fighting Foodon. And then, of course, Chase threw an egg spaceship, which was built by Claudia and the animals, who she assembles with a flute, and robots. This is the season finale, two-parter. Chase goes into space to fight him. He does not use Fried Ricer, though. He uses Palator, which is a Foodon that shows up only for the last episode. So I didn't really appreciate that. I would have liked to have Fried Ricer, who we've been on this journey with, to finish it out. But basically, all of the rebel chefs and the good guys send their energy into space. Palator is formed. He looks like a golden knight. And, of course, pure good beats pure evil. That is the very spoiler-heavy, obviously. But just, that's what you're in for. A lot of food puns. A lot of just poorly designed monsters that not monster of the week, but monsters that you're going to be catching for, although I don't think they really catch anyone. I'm not really sure how this world works, because I don't know if someone else can make the exact same meal that you can, or if because they only make I don't know, there's no one else that made a Fried Ricer, if I remember correctly. So it's a weird world. I love the concept. It's fun. It's probably not worth your time, but I have weird fond memories of it because I just watched it a little bit growing up, and I thought it didn't exist. It just seemed like one of those shows that there was no way this existed. I ran into someone a few years later that told me they remember this show as well. So that's I was like, oh, it did exist, and I found it on Amazon Prime for free. So if you want to dip your toe into it, go for it. But it is, again, 26 episodes of just bad Saturday morning cartoons that in the end, I kind of enjoy because it is so bad. If you've watched Fighting Foodons, let me know your thoughts on it. I'd love to hear it and talk about the lore and the world of Fighting Foodons, and maybe we can get together and get some more Fighting Foodons, because that's what we need in our life. Thank you for checking out this just discussion, whatever, review of Fighting Foodons, and I'll see you next time on a podcast named Tim.